today. We got Yolan here as a special guest. I'm gonna do my review. Just put this sauce in. So that way, let's see if it, with the noodles a lot of times once it absorbs, it makes it a little bit better. This is a soba noodle salad. I didn't warm it up because I like my food warm. It has 16 and then scribbles in grams of fat, 50.53 carbs, and then 16.19 grams of protein, 379 calories. So off the jump, looking at it, purple cabbage, carrots, edamame, it looks like, which I'm not the biggest fan of, noodles, and mushrooms. Actually, let me, this is like a miso kind of sauce. So, there's that. Let's give it a bite. The sauce is fantastic. You can definitely taste the ginger in it. Has a nice little kick. There's also broccoli in here. I just found one piece of broccoli. Safe Kitchen's calling card is the vegetables are just super fresh. Like, I say that every review, but that's been consistent. I wish there was more broccoli in here. Trying to find a couple more, but where I could visibly see it easily. I think some bok choy or cabbage or something else would have been nice for a crunch for this. I would say this is not something I would have tried out on my own, so that's the part that like is helpful in these meal prep. On the other end, what would have made this better is if I would have seasoned it up. Oh, I had purple cabbage. I forgot about that. The purple cabbage doesn't actually have a taste or a crunch or anything. So, I mean, this is as good as it could have been.
What do you rate it out of 10?
So I've been waiting to give ratings just because I feel like my ratings would be off because I haven't had enough meal prep food. And I want to rate it in the basis of meal prep versus like rating things with my normal eating habits.
Why don't you do 2 sets of ratings? Like if I were to just eat this as a normal meal, I don't give it a 10.
So I was thinking about doing was giving myself a couple weeks to try it out, go what I know, go back and give it a rating based on that within my review, objectively, and then by next week I just start to actually rate them. So at that point I would have had a good amount of meals, like I had 30 of them. So I honestly don't even know these are edamame. These might be lima beans.
No, that's edamame.
They're terrible. It didn't have edamame.
Edamame's mad good. I don't know what you be on about. Mad good.
About to go out with Jinto. He was in there. You sure you want to go out? It's hot out there. I'm like, yes.
So you went out with him already, or he's just checking before y'all go out?
He's replying to me now. He woke up about 30, 40 minutes ago. Well, maybe an hour ago. He woke up like after my stretch session.
So said make sure he got his umbrella, because he not about to get dark on account of you.
Didn't know brown skin.
I know. They still don't want to get any browner.
I don't think it's that. But there's more. You've been here when it's really hot. Killed that. What is average? Nothing too major. I would say from Safe Kitchen, the salads so far have just been okay. That Southwest one had the ability of being fantastic, but because the vegetables weren't cooked, it didn't land in the same way, but I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, we're back with another Safe Kitchen review. This one is a vegan I can't make that word out, but it's some sort of pasta. It has 20 grams of fat 56 point, let's just call it 57. I don't know what that first number is. 18.11 grams of protein, 528 calories. This is what it looks like here. One of the things on here that I know I'm not going to be in love with are the olives, but they're olives, mushroom, broccoli, peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, and then spaghetti noodles. It has some red sauce on there already, and it looks like they gave me like just a plain marinara to go with this. So add that in as well. Actually, if I could do this over, I would have only put the marinara sauce on the noodles and then put the vegetables to the side, so that way it's not enough sauce for it to go on everything, but it's all good. It's trying to eat the way I normally would, and those big bites are not going to help. All right, we're gonna go in. So I instantly taste the olive. I'm gonna eat it. I'm trying to try new things, but I'm not a fan of olives. It's just a plain pasta with some vegetables thrown on top. Nothing too crazy. Like, I always say this about Safe Kitchen. They're great at making sure your vegetables are fresh. And I thoroughly appreciate that because everyone doesn't do that. So I think if I do continue with Safe Kitchen long term, one, it seems like especially on the protein side, the macros haven't been as high as I would like. We had quite a few meals where it was under 20 grams, and kind of want to keep it in the 40 plus range. The next thing is, so I would add my own protein on top to the ones that are low. And then I would add my own seasonings and spice to it to kind of pizzazz it up a little bit. If I do that, just to ensure that I'm within the macros I would like, I would also put it on MyFitnessPal. So that way I can just ensure that what I'm doing isn't necessarily negating what I would like. Because if that's the case, I can just go to dinners and eat what I want at that point. So, but There's some like, I don't know what this is. Like beans or something in here. I don't know, green beans or what. But by themselves, they kind of have a tart taste. I wish I'd have found them earlier because I would have spread them out throughout the meal. It's not bad if you get like 1 or 2 in a bite, but if you get like pretty much a forkful, it's not that good. Especially when you add the olives in it. I'll show you what it is. So, it's this one here. You can see that. It's like a little green, like a forest green thing. This bite is probably not going to be the best because I'm going to have a ton of them with a bunch of olives, but just grind through it. Well, whatever it was, when you chew it, especially when you chew a few of them at the same time, there's a tartness to it, so it's like overpowered. Excuse me. But we finished that. I think overall, like, sorry, I'm trying to get like stuff out my braces. It's solid in terms of having good, clean food. So far, all the salads, and then this particular pasta, like this, easily could have had something else with it that would have allowed it to have had more protein. And then obviously the calories would have went up, but they still have room for that, especially like the way that they do it. You have 2 meals you get a day, and then, sorry, I got a little stuck into the braces. Or 2 meals, and a few times some of those meals have only been like 300 calories. So it was only one of today. So we'll see what the next one was actually hitting for, but we definitely have to, there's some room here. And I want to find the happy solution in this situation. So I'm not giving up on meal prep. I don't want to give that feeling. I just want to be able to find the happy solution. Either there's something I need to add or make just a subtle change. So we'll go from there. I'm going to continue my day. I'll get back to you guys in a bit. Dang it. Let's try it this way, maybe. Okay. Now that I have that, I can bring this down some. Boom. Okay. Back. Last meal of the day. This one is a stir-fried tofu and vegetables. Has a little sauce in there. Before I meet the macros, this looks just like a meal we had a couple days ago. So I'm a little disappointed from that standpoint. I expect for there to be a variety, but you know, we'll go through it. So it looks like there's about 18.78 grams of fat, so we'll just call that 19. 60.646 carbs, 17.51 on the protein, and then 451 calories. So if I remember correctly, in the other one, there was tofu, carrots, broccoli, zucchini, bok chow, if I remember correctly. Then the sauce was like a ginger-esque sauce or whatnot. This is more of a teriyaki, so I guess it's a little bit different, or at least it smells teriyaki. White rice. If you've been watching my reviews, you know I'm not the biggest fan of rice. And then white rice. So it's gonna need for there to be some good sauce to balance it out. So on this, there are green beans or zucchini, broccoli. Okay. Slightly different, similar but slightly different. I think we're having a texture thing right now. So the tofu is extremely chewy. Vegetables are fantastic. Even the green beans. Sauce is helpful. If I start to pizzazz this up myself, I would toss this in the pan. I'd definitely hit it with some garlic, like the oil, hit it with some garlic, and hit some like fresh peppers on there. Then we get just a little bit of flavor. Because the vegetables are kind of in a good space, I would put the vegetables in last. I would put the tofu in a little bit more. Get that more tender so it's less. I could a little bit longer. I'm gonna make it nice and well done so it's kind of crisp, but it's also not chewy. That's a crunch, but if you've been in this world for a long time, it gives very much veggie chunks. If you know what veggie chunks are, this is the tofu. It's giving me the veggie chunks. My beard is like going in my nose. So I feel like there's something like touching my nose, but it's just my beard, like my mustache. So well, as far as those carbs, I'm not gonna have as many of them because majority are from rice. And I'm only gonna have maybe a third of that rice. But I think what it would be, my brain doesn't really think in problems, it thinks in solutions, but so hitting this with a little bit of thyme, some rosemary or sage, like thyme and either rosemary or sage, or a few peppers, and take a garlic clove, smash it, put it in the pan. Let it go until it gets soft. And take this up a notch. Or if you want to do it as like a fried rice, that's another option. Add an egg. Allow there to be that much more protein. But the way that they do this is vegan, so they asked if I wanted it vegetarian or vegan. I just said choose. I don't mind. I'll take both. Don't forget the bell. Never, never, never. Yeah. This is when I think of meal prep, this is very ideal for meal prep. Like this would be the equivalent of chicken, broccoli, rice, carrot, kind of thing, like simple, with a little sauce, very little bit, which that's what I'm getting. I understand. I think my only counter is that the macros aren't what I would like them to be. And I think one of the main things is if you're gonna get like plain nutritious food, then the nutrition portion has to be heavy. It can't be plain and the nutrition is lacking. Pretty much smashed up. I only had about a third of the rice. For me with the plain rice, you're not really gonna see me tear it down unless there's something that really adds to it. So the thoughts just going to my brain like, is it worth the calories, right? And I have two answers. One, I'm trying something, so you have to allow there to be room for error. You can't just try something and just expect like, oh, this isn't a pizza or a pasta or a veggie burger or like some food you love, right? So there's that. But on the other side, I'm like, I'm eating this and it's just neutral. And I wouldn't mind that if I had 40 grams of protein, right? Because then that sets me up for success, because then 2 meals on that, plus my smoothies and everything else, gets me to my goal of wanting to get 200 grams of protein per day. 12, 13 grams of protein in a meal, And then there's a bigger margin for the calories. So, like I can do 700, 800 calories per meal and still be in a calorie deficit. So you gotta find that nice sweet spot here. And then I have to just make a decision if I'm gonna find the happy sweet spot or I make an adjustment and try something else, but we'll see. This has been fantastic. If I remember correctly, it's a local company that makes this. Yep. So, Groovy, Zoda, soda water, sparkling water, however you want to call it. Simple, easy. Yeah. It works. Alrighty. I'm going to finish off my day. I'm going to stay optimistic. We have Sunday's food already in the refrigerator. I don't look at it. I do, right after I heat it up, I come to you guys and do it all in real time. So we'll test those last 2 out and then just move on from there and just see. If you guys haven't done so already, please do me a big favor. Like, share, subscribe. If you want more information on this company, I have it in the comments there so you can look them up, see what they're doing in real time, and check out their stuff. And then we'll just go from there. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.